Hello everybody. Today I'm starting out in the garage because my appliance finally came in. So I'm gonna let you take a look at the outside of the box because it's gotta sit in the garage until next week when the gas people come to hook up the gas. So today we're gonna be talking about the difference, the pros and cons between an electric stovetop and a gas stovetop. But first, let's take a look at my stove. It's just in a box where it's gonna have to stay. I'm very excited to get that thing out of the box, but I'm gonna leave it in because the guys who are coming in to hook up the gas next week will bring it into the house for me. So let's go back into the house where it's warm, and I will talk to you a little about gas ranges and electric ranges. See you inside. Growing up, we use a wood stove in the winter to do much of our cooking, and wood stoves have their own set of challenges, which I will not be covering today. Wood stoves are definitely an option when it comes to picking out a stovetop, especially if you live in a heavily wooded area or in a remote area. My town just got fitted for natural gas for the first time in its existence, and I was very excited because that meant I could replace my stove with a gas stove. Now, my current electric stove, which you've probably seen in quite a few episodes, is very old. It's at least 40 years old, and since I've owned it in the last, I believe, 8 years, I haven't really cleaned it. I don't really have faith in the self-cleaning ovens from 40 years ago. I just envisioned a fire. And in addition to that, one of the burners, the main burner I use on that stove, has a short in it. And that has been an issue for quite a while. But I've been holding off because I really didn't want to get a propane tank for my backyard because I think that they're unsightly. And so I've been holding off. So when last year they came to the house to say that they were bringing natural gas into the city, I was elated. And I immediately started looking for my dream gas stove. Now, this isn't necessarily my dream gas stove because of space limitations in the kitchen. So I could only get a 30-inch stove when I would have rather got a much larger stove. Because when I do cook, I cook a lot, and timing gets to be an issue with limited space. But this one has a double oven, which I'm very excited about. So today I'm just going to talk to you about the pros and the cons for electric and gas, because there's a lot of different views out there on what is better, and it really does come down to choice, but I thought it would be prudent for me to discuss the differences in the two. I am not, however, going to discuss the pros and cons of electric and gas when it comes to baking, because that's not really my main focus. I do bake quite a bit, and I have made a lot of bread in the past of all different kinds. And if I ever decide to have a massive cheat day and make myself a loaf of bread, because I'll eat it all in one sitting, I'm gonna be excited to see what the differences are in that oven. The oven does have a way to turn off the fan to go from convection to conventional. The convection just works like the same way if you're outside in the sun and it's windy. It's warming up the space more with circulating air, whereas like a conventional oven is just if the sun is beating down on you. This has the effect of drying out baked goods in the oven. So for baking cookies and things that you want crisp, and meats, you would turn the fan on in the oven. Now, to make a dish more moist, like a cake, you would want to turn the fan off and use a regular conventional oven. But I'm not here to talk about ovens. I'm here to talk about the range portion of a stove. Let's dig into some information about the pros and the cons, see which one comes out on top with the most pros and the most benefits. About 1/3 of the population of the United States uses natural gas burners for cooking. So we're gonna start with a gas range top. Some of the pros to a gas range top is that it cooks food fast and evenly no matter the state of your pan within some reason. So if your pans are a little wobbly at the bottom or anything like that, the gas stove will cook more evenly than the electric stove. Can use any pot or pan, including round bottom woks. A gas stove is more intuitive and responsive in control over the adjustment of heat and flame level, giving you more precise temperature control. It's instant heat when the burners are turned on and cools down quickly when the burners are turned off. You can use the flames of a gas stovetop to char or blacken stuff like bell peppers. Also, you can use the flame for making indoor roasted marshmallows. You can, of course, use a coil top stove for that too, but it doesn't work as well. And that is something I can tell you from direct experience. A gas stovetop also has removable grates allowing for easy cleaning, and the burners are protected by caps to keep the spills out of the burners. It is important to use an exhaust fan to decrease the small amount of carbon monoxide off-gassing that can happen with a gas stove. One of the cons of a gas stove is that they're much more expensive to buy, and then that doesn't include the cost of an exhaust fan. Some people choose to go without, but I would say it's definitely important to have an exhaust fan, especially if you have a smaller kitchen. And then also it's expensive if you have to bring gas into your house and have a gas line hooked up if you don't already have gas. A gas stove, though, is less expensive to run, and you can use it if the electricity goes out. Onto an electric range. An electric range is really good at boiling water fast, but that's about it. So if you're really into boiling water, an electric stove is probably for you. They are also easy to install, requiring no gas hookups, just the right amperage plug. They are generally safer with no risk of gas leaks because there's no gas. They are less expensive to buy, but more expensive to run, and relatively inexpensive to repair. A lot of the newer electric stovetops come with a glass cooktop or ceramic type cooktop surfaces. The flat top cook surface offers stability for pots and pans, though again, if you have dented or uneven pan bottoms, they do not heat as evenly on a flat top or on exposed electrical coils, which causes uneven cooking in your food. Also, glass is a poor heat conductor. Glass top or smooth top ranges are very prone to breaking with severe temperature fluctuations, such as putting up too cold of a pan on a hot burner or too hot of a pan on the cold surface. And then also, if a pot or a pan boils dry, like if you forget it's on the stovetop, like I do once in a while, that pan boiling dry can crack the glass. In addition, glass also has a weight limit, so you can't put very heavy pots or pans on top of it that are filled with things. In addition to being prone to breaking, glass and smooth top ranges are susceptible to scratching with certain cookware, so you want to avoid glass, cast iron, or ceramic cookware. Anything that's small or granule that can get between the pot and the cooktop can easily scratch it, which also is a bummer if you want a really pristine top. I've seen some pretty terrible looking glass smooth topped ranges in my time. Also, that you can scratch it while cleaning it unless you use the proper cleaning solutions. But if you do use the proper cleaning solutions, they are easy to clean with the proper methods. Now there's a super secret third option. I mean, it's not really a secret, but it is something that's becoming more popular, and that is an induction stovetop. Now, an induction stovetop is a completely different type of thing. It cooks with induction, but they are more powerful than gas and a little bit more responsive. And you're able to lower the temperature more so than with gas. In fact, some induction ranges can heat low and gentle enough to melt chocolate without a bain-marie. Induction stovetops are unparalleled in heat transfer efficiency. They're more energy efficient, heating up fast, and generating very little heat, making it the most environmentally friendly. The Department of Energy has calculated that induction cooktop can be up to 84% efficient in its energy transfer, which makes it the most energy efficient way to cook food so far. Unfortunately, while they are cheap to operate, they are very expensive to buy at this point because they are the newest technology on the market right now. An induction stovetop cannot transmit energy to cookware if it is significantly lifted from the hob. This is an issue if you're doing a lot of tossing while heating, but it also means that the range top doesn't heat up, so you can touch it at any point, and it's really good for cleaning up later because spills don't burn onto the surface. An induction stovetop does require specific cookware called ferromagnetic cookware. Depending on how much you cook, can actually add to the cost of the already expensive price of the induction stovetop. A pro of it is that it doesn't heat up the kitchen, and it offers more even heating patterns with whatever you're cooking, even with a lighter bottom cookware. So money being no obstacle, the induction stovetop is probably the best choice. However, it is far too expensive to justify. So I think I will be very happy with my gas range. And my new stove is an LG 6.9 cubic foot self-cleaning freestanding double oven gas range with ProBake convection. I'm pretty excited to see how this is going to work out. Thank you for watching my video today. I hope you learned a little bit about the differences and the pros and cons between a gas stove and an electric stove. And maybe you've heard of an induction stove for the first time. Please give me a thumbs up. If you liked any of this content, please check out some of my other videos on this channel. And as always, have a wonderful day.